Hello everyone, my name is Kiran and today we are learning about tenses. So, in English grammar, tenses are the core of any language. In English, whenever we are learning about any language, grammar is the core, and in grammar, tenses are the major part of any language. So today we are discussing about tenses. What actually tenses mean? Introduction about tenses, we say tenses derived from the Latin word tempus, and tempus means indicates the time of an action, event or condition by changing its form. A verb indicates the time of an action, event or condition by changing its form. So this is basically, tenses basically is a situation of time here. So time on the base of tenses on the base of time frame, we have three different tenses. For example, present tense, past tense and future tense. So present tense indicates the actions happening in the present time, and past things which are happened already, and future tense describe the events that are going to be happen for the future time. So this is basically on the time frame we divide tenses in three different aspects. Now on the base of aspects we have four different tenses, and tenses on aspect categorized according to aspect refers to the nature of action or described by any verb. When a verb, an action described in a different nature forms, that is what based on aspect, and we have four different tenses on that: indefinite or simple tenses, continuous or progressive tense, perfect or complete tense, or perfect continuous tense. These are the four different tenses based on the aspect. In these different tenses, verb indicates its action, the nature of its action. So, first thing first, we learn about different meanings of different tenses, what they tell us about, and why these are used in our daily basis. So, indefinite tenses basically describe an action by verb but does not state whether the action is completed or not. That's why we called it indefinite tense. We don't know whether the action is completed or not, but in present time the action is being done by verb. So in continuous tense, the second tense in this aspect, we say in this continuous tense, in complete tense or continuous action by verb. A progressive tense, we can say it again. It is known as continuous tense, also as progressive tense. In this tense, the verb is doing its action on the present time. It's in continuation form, it's in progressive form. That's why we call it continuous tense. An unfinished action or progressive action in this tense. So now third tense we have perfect tense, and in this tense the completion of action is shown in this tense. Or perfect tenses describe a finished action. For example, we say someone has done this work already. Some actions which are already being completed by verb is counted in perfect tense. For the last we have perfect continuous tense. Perfect continuous tense take a merging of incomplete or progressive actions both. In this tense, the complete tenses and the incomplete tenses to describe an action which was in progress and then finished. For example, we have so many different things. For example, the things started in past and now continuing in the present and finished on some point. So we put it in perfect continuous tense. So students, we have this chart here which describe the different tenses in English language. Tenses, as we say, tells about time, and we have on time basis present, past and future tense. Now we have four other parts of each tenses here, and total in all we have 12 different tenses in English language. Present indefinite, past indefinite, future indefinite, same as present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect And last one, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous tense in English grammar we have. So for the first thing today, we are discussing about present tenses. So present tenses describe about the present things or actions done by verb. So first thing first, we learn about present indefinite tense. As we learned earlier, present indefinite tense are tenses which describe action by verb which are incomplete, or we don't know they are completed yet or not. It just say about the actions by verb which are we don't know they are completed or not. That's why this is known as indefinite tense. So for the first thing, we have simple present or the present indefinite tense. It is used to describe an action, event or condition that is occurring in the present at the moment of speaking or writing anything. So we have different rules while using present indefinite tense. For example, ta, te and ti. In Hindi we say the words ending with the word ta, te and ti comes under the present indefinite tense. So in affirmative we say subject with s or es in verb, first form of verb plus object. S or es used with third person singular always, not with everything, but we use s or es with verb only with third person singular. With first person, second person and third person plural, we do not use s or es with any verb in the sentence. For negative, we use subject plus do or does plus first form of verb and not plus object. Then we have interrogative sentences, do, does plus subject plus first form of verb plus object. Last thing we have interrogative negative. In this, do or does comes in the front, subject, then not, then first form of verb and last thing object we have. We have example here. For example, my watch keeps good time. My watch keeps good time. Watch is a third person singular, so we have used keep with s or es in good time. So my watch keeps good time. In another example we have the referee blows the whistle. So the referee is the third person singular, so now we will use s or es with the verb which is blow here. So the referee blows the whistle. Third thing, lemon is always sour. So it is also comes in a present indefinite tense. So we have some different examples here also. A bird flies in the sky, she plays guitar, and different sentences, in affirmative sentences, negative and interrogative, how we use them in different persons, first person, second person, third person. So with first person, I say I read a book. I will not say I reads a book, I say I read a book because it is a first person and we do not use s or es with verb here. I read a book, I do not read a book, and do I read a book here. So for the second person, we take an example of you go for a walk. You go for a walk. It's a second person, so again we are not using s or es with a verb, and we do not go for a walk. You do not go for a walk, and with interrogative we say do you go for a walk. So this is about first and second person. Now we are taking third person here. For example, he sings a song. He sings a song. Sing is a verb here and we are using s with it because he is a third person, and with third person we always use s or es in present indefinite tense. So he does not sing a song, does he sing a song, etc. in negative and interrogative. Now if we are taking plural person here, plural number here, we say we sing a song. Of course it's a third person, but it's not singular, it's plural. Sorry, it's a first person here. We sing a song, but in a plural form. So we do not sing a song, do we sing a song, etc. Now with third person plural we have they here. They is a person, third person, and it is plural, so we do not use s or es with it. So they ride their bike, they ride their bikes, they do not ride their bikes, or do they ride their bikes. So students, have you noticed anything? Whenever we use S or ES with third person singular in negative form, we always use does with it, not do, that we have to added with first or second person. So whenever you are using S or ES in a sentence with third person, when you are changing it to negative or interrogative, you will always use does with it, and of course not using S or ES in verb, in the first form of verb. So while using does, you will not use S or ES with third person singular. Okay. So next we have second tense here, that is present continuous tense. So in present continuous tense, it of course is a continuous action or progressive action. It emphasizes the continuing nature of an act, event or condition. A verb is doing this work right in the time. It is in the progress. That's why we also call this tense progressive tense also. So in Hindi, raha hai, rahi hai, rahe hain, baitha hai, etc. These all comes in the present continuous tense. So in affirmative, we always say subject plus is MR plus first form of verb, then ing and object. Okay. In negative, we say subject is MR plus not, then main verb, then we have adding ing in it and object also. Interrogative is MR plus subject plus main verb plus ing plus object, and in last interrogative negative, the main verb, first examples of WH word, the interrogative words you have are is MR plus subject plus main verb, first form of verb, ing and object. So students, the main introduction of present continuous tense, or the main important thing in it, that we are using helping verbs. For example, is MR, is or am we are using with first or second person singular persons, or are we are using for plural ones. So is we are using with all the third person with singular, and am we are using with first person singular, and are we are using with plural numbers. So these are the different rules for it. And now we are taking some examples here. So present continuous progressive tense, here we have examples. The words are flying high. Words are flying high. Words are plural number here. So we are using are, and fly is a verb here and we use ing with it. So the kids are playing in the park. Kids of course is a plural number here and we are using are with it. Play is a verb, main verb here, and we are using ing with it. So we have another different examples here. I am playing football. I am not playing football. Am I playing football, etc. So say we are taking another example like third person singular. She is playing football. She is not playing football, or is she playing football, etc. So these are the different other examples we have. Now we are taking the third person plural here. They are playing football, they are not playing football, or are they playing football. So these are the actions continuing in progress or progressing in the present time, known as or put into the present continuous tense. So students, next we have present perfect tense. So present perfect tense is used to describe actions that begin in the past and continue in the present or has just been completed. Some examples for it we can say about it, present perfect tense, that actions which begin in the past and completed in the present time. So chuka hai, chuki hai, ya chuke hain, etc. These are the main introduction or the main part of this present perfect tense here. So in affirmative, we say subject plus has have plus main verb, object or other words in the sentence you have. So main important thing about present perfect tense or perfect tense that we use has have as a main verb here, or the helping verb here. In negative sentences, we have subject plus has have plus not plus main verb. Third form of verb always used in perfect tense. For example, we have already shown it here to you. the main verb in the third form will used here, of course. And we have interrogative. Interrogative has have on the front, subject, then main verb, third form, plus object, plus other words in the sentence. In the last interrogative, negative, WH words or interrogative words you have in a sentence, has have, plus subject, plus not, plus main verb with third form, and object plus other words. So this is the important rule about present perfect tense, in which the action continued in the present and just completed in the present tense. So we have some example. For example, we have here, the principal has just gone out. The principal has just gone out. Go, went, gone. Gone is the third form of go. So here we have another example. I have worked. I have not worked. Have I worked, etc. The work, the third form we have worked here. You have worked. You have not worked. Have you worked, etc. She, he or is it worked. Is she, it hasn't worked. We use has with singular person, third person singular, and have with first person, second person, and third person plural always. Okay. So we have worked here, we have not worked here, have we worked here, etc. So this is the example for, these are the examples for present perfect tense here. So students, last we have last tense in this present form, we have present perfect continuous tense. So perfect continuous basically is a mixture of incomplete or progressive tenses collectively. So present perfect continuous is used to describe an action, event or condition that has begun in the past and continued in the present. Okay. So raha hai, se rahe hai, raha hai, etc. with time we used in the Hindi. In affirmative sentences we have some structure for this. Subject plus has have plus been plus main verb first form plus ing plus since or for plus other object or other words in the sentence. Okay. For negative we will always use subject plus has have plus not plus been plus first form of verb with ing plus since or for, then your time and other words in the sentence. Interrogative has have in the front, subject, then been, then main verb, first form, then we'll use object with it, since, for and time in the sentence. Has have plus subject plus not plus been plus first form of verb with ing, object plus since and for and time for interrogative negative sentences. So these are the important structures. So as we have told you about it, that it used to describe an action that has begun in the past and continued in the present. Okay. So we have some examples here. For example, you are seeing here, I have been waiting for bus for a long time. I have been waiting for bus for a long time. Now students, since and for is a very confusing thing for many students here. So you have to learn only one thing about it. Since we used for point of time and for we use for period of time. For example, since morning, since 4 o'clock, since evening, since 1970, etc. For and for we use for period of time. For example, for 2 hours, for 1 week, for 1 hour, for 1 month, for 4 years, for 100 years, etc. So for is always used for period of time and since is always used for point of time. So we are taking some examples here. We have been working. If I add something here, what time limit? I have been working since morning. I have not been working since morning, or have I been working since morning. So this is about the examples for first person. Second person we have, you have been working. You have not been working. Have you been working? Okay. For the third person we have, he has been working. Now you know about it, how when we use has or when we use have with it. Okay, so it has not been working, it has it been working in interrogative sentences. Now second person we have, you have been working, you have not been working, have you been working. Okay, so these are the different examples for present perfect continuous tense. So students, these are the 4 different types of present tense we have. So all you know about it. Present tense always tells us about the actions done by verb in the present time. Okay, for the first indefinite, the time or the completion of action we don't know in that. In continuous or progressive tense, we know that the verb is doing work on the progression or the action is in the progression right here. In the perfect, the action started in the past but now it has been completed. And for the last thing, for the present perfect continuous, we know it is a mixture of complete task or the incomplete task together. Like it started for the past or it is still in the progress in the present time. So these are the present tense of the tenses in the grammar. So these are our lectures for today. Thank you.